Now on page number 14, okay, paragraph 4. The first indication of impending disaster came at about 6 p.m. Okay, what do you mean by this word, bacha? Impending. Impending means something bad is about to happen. Impending means something bad is about to happen. So what happened around 6 p.m.? What happened on the same day, on that 2nd January, around 6 p.m., an unpleasant silence rolled over. Okay. Disaster is about to with an ominous silence. Ominous silence. Ominous silence means silence here refer to the impending danger, the coming danger. Okay, so what happened at around 6 p.m. Fine, an unpleasant silence rolled over, and it was an indication that a disaster which is about to happen. Okay, the sea became very silent. So there was no thundering, there was no strong waves. So this thing shows that there is something big going to come. Fine. Then came a roaring roar, and enormous clouds towered aft of the ship. Aft means at the back of the ship. AFT. Aft means at the back of the ship. And then what happened? A huge cloud was coming towards the stern, towards the back of the ship. But what happened? With the horror, I realized that it was not a cloud, but a wave like no other I have ever seen. Now the author is saying, but later this narrator, okay, he realized that it was not a huge, it was not a cloud, it was a huge wave, okay. It appeared perfectly vertical and almost twice the height of the other waves, with a frightful breaking crest. Now that wave was perfectly vertical. Perfectly vertical means just standing behind the ship. Okay, just standing behind their ship. That is just straight in front, just straight back their ship. Okay, and it was twice the height of the previous waves, the waves which were coming in the morning. Okay, on 2nd January morning, the waves which were there, this wave which came at 6 p.m. okay, 6 p.m. that wave is much more in the height, that twice of the height of the earlier waves. Okay, and it broke down the top of the ship with a frightful noise. Here crust means the top of the ship. C-R-E-S-T. Crust here means the top of the ship. And what happened? That waves broke out at the top of the ship with a very frightful noise. The roar increased to the thunder as the stern moved up the face of a wave. Now what happened? This roar is coming, this noise is coming. So the sound becomes so louder, okay, that it's look like a thunder. Fine. Thunder as the stern moved up the face of the wave. And he said that the wave moved the stern up. Stern, I told you yesterday, stern was the back of the ship. Okay, that waves were so huge that what they did, they just moved the stern up. The back portion of the ship becomes up. Okay. For a moment I thought we might write over them. Now the narrator is saying that he thought, for a moment he thought that it would not make any damage, that ship will not make any that wave is not going to make any damage to the ship. But what happened? But then a tremendous explosion shook.
Ma'am,
Yes.
ma'am, you told that aft is also back of the ship and stern is also back of the ship. So what is the difference?
Beta, the corner of the ship. Okay, the extreme corner of the ship is called the aft. Okay, and the back portion of the ship is called stern. Okay now?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
fine. So, but then a tremendous explosion shook the deck. Now, what happened in this paragraph from the starting? What happened that the author, the narrator, okay, he heard a sound, and that sound becomes so louder that he thought that it was a thunder. Then suddenly he looked that it was a wave, and that wave, what that wave has done, that wave have moved up the stern. The back part of the boat, the back part of the ship moved upwards. Okay, they thought that it was not damaged, but the narrator thought that it could not damage the ship. But what happened? Then it was written, but then a tremendous explosion shook the deck. But then what happened? There was a huge explosion. Okay, and it vibrated the deck, sorry. A torrent of green and white water broke over the ship. My head smashed into the wheel, and I was aware of flying overboard and sinking below the waves. Now what happened? The explosion is caused because of the huge waves, okay, which were coming on the ship. Now what happened? A combination of all the colors of water, white, green and all, okay, they fall on the ship, and because of this explosion, his head, the narrator's head, got smashed. Smashed means here you can say violently broken, or got hit, smashed onto the captain's wheel. And he was aware of this thing, that all the objects on the ships, they were flying here and there, and he know that he was also sinking below the water. Okay, it was written here that the torrent of green and white water broke over the ship, and my head smashed into the wheel, and I was aware of the flying overboard. Overboard means, children, over the side of the ship, okay, and sinking below the waves. He said that what happened when the wave came on the ship, okay, the color of the waves are of different colors. The water is of different colors, and all that different color water came on the ship. And the narrator realizes this thing, that everything on the ship was flying here and there, because the ship become tilted now. From the back side it goes up, and from the front side it is going down. So that become tilted, okay. And he knows this thing, that everything is sinking under the wave, under the waters, okay. Whatever there is on the ship, that is sinking. And what happened by this explosion, by the vibration which is created by the huge waves on the deck, he just got smashed on the captain's wheel. Okay, I accepted my approaching death. As I was losing consciousness, I felt quite peaceful. Now what he said, that the narrator here said that he had accepted his death. He knows that now he is going to die. Nobody can save him, because this much the situation what is there on the ship, okay, these indicates that the ship is going to sink, and he knows that he is going to die. Okay, he started feeling unconscious, and then what happened? I felt quite peaceful. And when he started feeling unconscious, that time he become very peaceful. Of course, children, when we become unconscious, okay, we don't know what is happening around us, okay. So that has happened with him. Unexpectedly, my head popped out of the water. Popped out means came out. Now he said that suddenly what happened, he was able to lift his head out of the water. Okay, a few meters away, wave walker was near capsizing her mast, almost horizontal. Now what he said, when he lifted his head, okay, he saw that the wave walker is the name of the ship of the narrator. So he saw that the wave walker was almost overturned, okay, and the mast was fallen down. Yesterday I told you what is the meaning of a mast. A mast is a tall upright structure on the boat, okay. So he saw that the mast has fallen down, okay. Then the wave hurled her upright, and my lifeline jerked. Now what happened? What the wave did, but suddenly a wave, what happened? It turned the ship into the right position. A strong wave came, and it turned the ship into the right position. His lifeline jerked. Lifeline, I told you yesterday, lifeline was what? Lifeline was the thick ropes. Okay, lifeline was thick ropes. So his lifeline, his rope was stretched, and he taut, T-A-U-T, taut means stretched, okay, and he taut. And what happened? I grabbed the guard rails and sailed through the air into the wave walker main boom. Boom means pole, B-O-O-M, boom means pole. So what happened to him? He realized that the lifeline was stretched, okay, his rope stretched, and he grabbed the guardrails. What is guardrail, children? You can write it down, the deck of a boat that prevents people from falling off. Guardrail is the rails used for the support. Okay, the rails which are there on the deck, which prevent the people from falling down, that are called guardrails. Okay, the railings which are there on the deck for the support, okay, which prevents the people from falling down, that is called a guardrail. So what happened, he hold that guardrail, okay, and through the air into the wave walker main boom. And what happened, and he sailed the ship to the main pole, and he saw that he was moving towards the main pole. Fine. Subsequently, waves tossed me around the deck like a rag doll. Rag means old. And what happened? Waves are still coming on the ship, and because of this, they tossed him like a rag doll. Okay. My left ribs cracked, my mouth filled with blood and broken teeth. Somehow I found the wheel, lined up the stern for the next wave and hang on. Now his condition is was really very bad. His condition become very bad. Why? What happened to him? His ribs were cracked, okay? Mouth was full of blood and his teeth were broken, okay? Somehow he was able to locate the captain wheel, and he gets ready for the next wave to fall on the ship. What he did, he found the captain wheel and he started moving towards the back of the ship. Why he was started moving towards the back of the ship, children? Because the captain wheel is there only. Okay, the captain wheel is at the back of the ship, stern, at the back of the ship. So he started moving towards there, and he put the hold on the captain ship, okay, captain wheel. He just put the hold on that captain wheel and he waited for the next wave to come. Okay, water, water everywhere. I could feel that the ship had water below. Now what happened? Everywhere there was water and water. Okay, and he knows this thing that what ship under the below the ship there's going to be water, but I dared not abandon the wheel to investigate. But he did not have the courage to leave the wheel, that captain wheel, and go inside the ship and look where what is the condition there. Okay, he don't want to go inside and look at the condition, because he know that if he is going to leave the wheel, fine, they will sink. Suddenly the front hatch was thrown open and Mary appeared. Children, hatch, H-A-T-C-H. Hatch means opening door on the floor. I think you have seen in some movies there is a door which is on the ship's floor, okay, which used to open on the deck. Fine. So that is the door over here. So she opened that door and Mary appeared. And what happened? His wife came up. We are sinking, she screamed. And she cried very loudly that we are sinking. The decks were smashed. We are full of water. And what she said? That the decks are smashed. Okay, they are broken and we are full of water. Take the wheel, I shouted, as I scrambled for the hatch. Now what he said that take this wheel. He shouted at his wife to take the wheel, and he scrambled. Scramble means climb, and he climbed for the hatch. He climbed towards the door. Okay, Larry and Herb were pumping like madman. Now children here, Larry and Herb, you know who are they? They are the crew members. Okay, and pumping means moving back. Okay, what are they? These two people are doing? They are moving back this Larry and Herb, okay, they are pumping back the water very fast, which was there inside the ship. Fine. Broken timbers hung at the crazy angles. The whole starboard is the side of the ship. Starboard is side of the ship. Blood inwards, clothes, crockery, charts, tents, toys sloshed about in deep water. Now what happened? These two persons, Larry and Herb, they were inside the ship and they were pumping. They were just pumping means moving back. Okay, they were putting the water back very fastly. Fine. The timber of the ship, timber here means the wood board. Okay, the timber of the ship was what? Broken and were hanging very badly. The starboard of the ship, okay, it is also broken. and everything, clothes, crockery, charts, tins, toys, all were in the deep water. Okay, sloshed means deep, drunk into the drunk, D-R-U-N-K. Okay, slosh means drunk. They were all into the deep water. I half swam, half crawled into the children's cabin. Now what he did, he half swam and half crawled, because where there is water, he swam, and when everything came down, okay, the starboards, the deck, everything, the wooden timber, everything was down. So he crawled and he moves towards his children's cabin. Okay, are you all right? I asked. Yes, they answered from a upper bunk. Now they asked the children that, are you all right? So the children replied that, yes, okay, they are all right, fine. But my head hurts a bit, said Sue. Now this is Suzanne, his daughter, pointing a big bump above his eyes. Now what her daughter, his daughter Suzanne, okay, she complained about a big bump on her head. She said that everything is all right, but there is a big bump on my head. Okay, the narrator, sorry, I had no time to worry about bumped heads. The narrator's worry is not that bump head is not his worry. Okay, his daughter got hurt, that is not his worry. His worry is that they want to save what? Save the ship so that they all cannot die. Fine. After finding a hammer, screws and canvas, I struggled back on the deck. Now what he did, after the narrator found all the things, okay, he found the hammer, canvas, screws, everything, he went back to the deck. Fine. I struggled back on the deck with the starboard side bashed, B-A-S-H-E-D, bashed means hit, open. We were taking water with each wave that broke over us. Now I told you starboard is the side of the ship. Okay, so the broken starboard, okay, what is happening with it? The starboard was broken and it was letting so much water into the ship. Fine, so much water is coming into the ship because of the side of the ship was broken. So from there, so much water is coming inside the ship. If I couldn't make some repairs, we would surely sink. And he knows this thing, that the narrator knows that if he is not going to fix this problem, if he is not going to repair this starboard, what will happen? They will all sink in the sea. Okay, we will